Thank you to our sponsor, Filmcraft LA. You can get all of your cool and customized film gear there. Like this chair we got with the nice Horror at the Store logo in the back, which is awesome. You can find them at filmcraftla.com and follow them on Instagram at filmcraftla. Guys, welcome to another episode of Horror at the Store. I'm your host, Katie Afraidy, and today we have the hilarious, the wonderful. You told me about a podcast, and I literally forgot the name already because that's my brain right now. So you're going to tell us what the podcast is, but it's Ken Napzok.
That's right.
Yes.
You took that nap with your socks on. Yeah. Hi. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you on.
Yeah. I'm the host, co-host of the Force Center podcast.
Force Center. I was like, literally just told me.
You got a lot on you.
And I just, it's
a hot
okay.
day.
I'm not good.
We're both dressed for colder weather.
I'm already sweating.
Yes.
I put on a sweater, like a jacket just to but I regret it immediately. You're wearing a beanie?
I'm wearing a beanie and a thicker denim jacket because style knows no weather conditions.
It's 91 degrees and you're like, you know what? I'm a little chilly. My head is cold.
Yeah. When you're a balding man, you make decisions and stick by them.
Fair. You know what? You won't get sunburnt though.
That's true.
That's very true.
That's true.
Oh my God. I love the way we first met. Yeah. I will say we met through Jake Lewis and me embarrassing the shit out of myself, insulting Jay Leno in front of his wife.
One of the greatest green room moments, perhaps the greatest green room moment of my comedy career.
Yeah. We were at Flappers and saw Jay Leno on the screen, and just me not thinking who's in the room. I don't know who this woman is next to me. I don't know. I think she's a comic. I don't know anything. Just go, man, Jay Leno's looking pretty rough. And
every other comic in the room turned their back on you, myself included.
Oh my God,
myself included.
Yeah,
but Mavis was great.
Oh, she was great.
Took it in stride.
She was like, "That's my husband," and I was like, awesome. But then I had the greatest recovery in history. Just bombarded her with compliments, and then she gave me a hug.
You gave you a hug, and you told a great story of when I've seen Colin Jost in person, he just looks a little different. He doesn't have the makeup on. He
looks rough like me. Real.
And I think at one point she goes, I'm his wife. He does look a little rough.
Yeah, right?
She bought it. She bought it.
She's like, fair. And I'm like, oh my God. But then, he got into not one motorcycle accident, but two.
Yeah.
And then he was rough. So,
you
know,
It was prior to that burning. You
I called it before. Yeah. I was like, ooh.
You're a witch.
Sometimes. You're
my fiance.
She's a witch.
Yes, Heather Grace Hancock is a witch, and that's pretty cool and that's pretty sexy until you see a spell candle burning in the hallway a night after you had a fight.
Well, that's good.
And you're like, why is that spell candle burning?
Hey, babe, babe.
Every pain in your side for the next week, you're like, burn her, burn her.
Is this it? Is this the thing that's gonna do? You're
is this it? Yeah.
Is that little candle gonna be the reason that? Is that why you got into the car accident?
No. I did recently get in a car accident. In fact, I'm parked inside behind the scenes stuff. I'm parked on the street here at the Comedy Store, not the parking lot, because my car can't currently turn sharply. So the parking lot. Yeah. No. Survived the accident. All good.
Got it. Okay.
Not because of my fiance's witch spell.
Okay.
She does want to talk to you though.
Okay.
Because you've claimed to hear some footsteps in a haunted museum where we were at.
Yes.
And she's like, I got to get more information on that.
Yeah. I was scared. I went to Vegas recently.
Yeah.
And did the Zach Baggins Haunted Museum, and I don't know what I believe, but I heard some shuffling, and I was like, "There's nobody down here."
It's a tiny space.
It's a tiny space. I don't know how you hear that when there's, I don't know, but
you're open to it. You're an empath. You hear things.
I don't want to. I don't want to anymore.
Yeah, I don't hear anything. Yeah.
I'm an empath. Is that what that
means? Yeah. I think you're an empath. You're open to the feelings. You collect the feelings around. You're probably picking up on things in here right now that I'm just like, I don't know. I want lunch.
It's just hot in here. That's all I know. It's just hot. I've never felt anything in here.
Yeah.
The only place I've felt things is in the back storage closet, which you can go into afterwards and tell me.
I felt pain on stage when I was performing here several times.
Because you
but
bombed
that's
so hard?
Yeah, it's a different kind of pain. But yeah.
You cried a little bit?
Yeah. The early days, yes.
It wasn't a ghost stabbing you. It was just, the audience.
It was
not
just a belly room audience, yeah.
Yeah. That
Directly
sounds
to
about
my
right.
soul.
That sounds about right. Oh, gosh. But we watched Cabin in the Woods.
Yes, we did.
I love this movie.
It's great.
How many times have you seen it?
Twice.
Twice? Okay.
But, I guess the prologue to this is you had asked me to come on the show, and I was like, well, I don't really watch horror films because I get really scared. I get scared a lot.
Scared, yes.
From my childhood on. But I had seen this one, and you put this down as a possible thing to review, and I was like, oh, get it. It's a comment on horror films.
Yeah.
It's meta. It's funny. It's brutal. It's got a great ending. Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was only a little scared.
Yeah, when I first saw this movie, I thought it was a horror film, and I was scared. And then my brother walked in and was like, "Why are you trembling? This is a comedy." And I was like,
But
and everything was a lot funnier when I was just like, "Oh, this is supposed to be hilarious."
especially second time around.
Oh yeah. Like
Yeah.
the first time, I mean, there are some of the scenes are like intense.
Yeah.
And you're like, but like,
I mean, it's designed to pull you in and to kind of, there's a lot of great rich themes like most horror films have. But so, yeah, the first time I had been told, no, you can watch this one, which is always great. It's like a little pat on the head.
Yeah,
Kenny, you can do this. I'm 40. You can do this.
You can do it. You got it, buddy. You got it.
You can do it. And I did it. I did it. And now, years later for you, I did it again there.
I'm thankful you did it.
The Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods. What was it, 2011?
Shot earlier than that, but finally released in 2011, 12 range. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, look, you did your research.
Yeah, well, because babyface Hemsworth is in it.
He's adorable.
Prior to the Thor stuff, I think they shot it before all that stuff. But then, MGM, which I think had made the film, they kind of went bankrupt, and all that stuff with like even the Bond franchise was in flux. And so, finally, Lionsgate, I think, a couple years later. Crazy.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
Hollywood.
I love the intro to the movie where you're like, who are these random people in the office? And then to the immediate cut to introducing us to the stereotypes.
Yeah, and the hard cut to the Cabin in the Woods, like that logo just pops up.
Yeah.
And you got Richard Jenkins and Bradley Whitford. And this is Bradley Whitford's best role for those out there. Here's his, you want to know his best role? Bradley Whitford's, that West Wing, good stuff. As the reporter who talks to Billy the Kid in Young Guns 2. Okay. Come on. That's the greatest movie of all time.
But Billy Madison.
That's fair. That's up there. That's a good. You do good, Woodford.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Richard Jenkins, who of course was born looking 50.
Yes.
Who is spectacular.
Oh, he's wonderful.
And I love that intro.
It's fantastic. I just love that they you see. You don't know how those stories are going to connect. Yeah. And even rewatching it for the, I don't know, maybe 10th time now. I feel like I've seen it in pieces more, but full through. I was like, how do these connect? When does this start lining up? And I love seeing everything start to click. And even though I know what's going to happen, I'm looking for those moments that it's like, oh, here's where they start to hint, oh, these two are connected. Oh, how are they connected? Wait, are they controlling everything? Oh, wait, yes, they are. Yes, they are.
It's funny, too. Even though I had watched it, it had been a few years. Mm-hmm. So I know they're connected.
Yeah.
But even then, I was like, I don't remember learning that information that early. But I guess it's the opening scene.
Yeah.
Hadley and Truman tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
And you just have to go on the journey.
But you're also still we don't know what the journey is.
Yeah.
But, you know. So... if you were one of the stereotypes, what stereotype would you be? Because you got the virgin, you got the sexually liberated or slut, as they like to say, the stoner, the jock, and the scholar/nerd.
You'd have to create one of a virginal nerd scholar.
Okay.
Who doesn't do drugs.
Well, you get one.
Yeah, I get one. Yeah, the closest would be probably the scholar.
Okay.
Definitely not as good looking as Jesse Williams, but I could put on some glasses and look the part.
He's hot. I was like, damn, they got Jesse and
Yeah.
Chris. I was like, say less.
Yeah, right before it all really exploded for them both, right? So I'd be somewhere between that and the nerd.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah.
Like more treated like a nerd, but at the time, after I got into stand-up comedy in the early 2000s, that's when I started drinking.
Yeah.
But back then they would have been like the virginal nerd scholar.
Yeah,
I would have
the
been 3.
That's fair. That's fair. It's also interesting that how they like slightly tweak things to like make it fit. Like the virgin's like, I'm not even a virgin. They're like, yeah, you fit though. You fit.
We worked with what we
You
got.
fit. You fit with the thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be between the virgin and the nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good gray area.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
That's fine. I don't know. Yeah.
You're not without experiences, but you know your way around the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Everything else. Jock, definitely not.
No.
The slut, probably not.
But
Don't
like,
got big enough boobs for that. And that's okay. That's okay. I'll take that. Stoner, you know what? Weed is fine. But
Yeah.
it's not, I don't want to be high constantly. Unless it's with that giant coffee mug bong.
oh, they starts the movie with? Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Which also, where was it? Oh God, where'd it go? It apparently that bong was a fully functional coffee mug and bong, and it was $5,000 to make.
Like just for the film?
Just for
or
the
is it
film.
now on sale on one of those
It might be on
sharper
sale,
image
but it, like, to,
stores
like-
at a dead mall?
The prototype was like $5,000 to make, which is insane. And I
Yeah.
hope the actor who played Marty.
What's his name?
hope-
Franz? I wrote
I'm gonna
it
look
down.
it up. I'm gonna look
Look
it
at
up.
them.
It's okay. I'm
He's
gonna
great.
look it up. I'm
They
gonna
all
look it
go on to good things.
they're all wonderful actors.
You
I
know?
just like
these kids in Hollywood.
I'm
making it.
bad with names, as we
Same,
saw.
same,
You told me you told me things, and I forgot his name is Fran Kranz.
Fran Kranz. Sounds like an
Fran
improv
Kranz.
sketch character
That
from a
sounds-
level 1 training class where you're
Yes.
like, I'm going to be Franz Kranz.
It sounds like Hans and Fran's younger brother.
In the movie that we never got to see.
Yes.
That would have been the plot.
Hans and Franz they're in one of the boxes,
Yes.
and then they come
Oh, they're
up.
a horror?
Yeah. Can you imagine?
I would love that. I also think you and I just accidentally pitched the Hans and Franz reboot. Let's get Carvey and
Let's
Nealon
do
on
it.
this.
I
They got their cousin, we'll call it, Franz Kranz.
Franz Kranz.
And they
But it's just the real person. He's just normal.
just the actor going,
He's just normal. I know. You guys,
man.
it's been years. Like, it's, yeah.
we'll pitch it to them.
Yeah, I think they'll like it. I
pitch
think
it
they'll
to
be a fan. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that coffee bong.
The coffee
mug
bong's great.
Like, that's.
I don't look. Caffeine is more of my drug than
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
So you can have best of both worlds.
Yeah.
You can choose. You wake up in the morning, you make a choice.
Yeah. And I love that choice. But also, why didn't he bring it with him inside of the cabin? Because
Mm-hmm.
that would have made a good bat.
Oh,
A weapon, right?
Do we know? It's kind of like the Mandalorian's pulse rifle in the first season of Mandalorian. I know you're thinking about
Yeah,
this.
oh,
It just
yeah.
kind of vanishes after a while, probably because it costs too much in the VFX department to shoot.
Probably.
But I think I think maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe they're like, well, this costs too much to make.
Yeah, we're like,
Even the
eh.
replica, we don't want to break on some zombies' head. But yeah, you're right. It would have been a great weapon.
Yeah, they should have. And I love them driving down to the cabin. They're like, yeah, we're gonna stay with my cousin or my cousin's house, and you're like, you don't even have a cousin.
Yeah, it's no. That's this great setup of the film. Like as you and I've talked about, like I get so scared of horror films. I can tell you the story of how Silver Bullet 1985 caused me to pee my pants at a slumber party as a kid. But they're so rich with themes, and horror movies are historically how underrepresented representative groups got their stories told, how they made their stories. They're cheaper to make, so the
Yeah.
themes are always so rich. And this one has just this wonderful theme of these people kind of playing roles that maybe they aren't even are what they are in real life.
Yeah.
Like even they talk later on, like Chris Hemsworth, he's a jock, but he's studying like philosophy. Like what
They're like, you're just saying because he looks like
Looks
a
the part.
jock.
Yeah.
And then the again, oh my God, I'm blanking on her name. The woman who is the sexually liberated one.
Yeah,
It's like,
she's a New
she-
Zealand actor. I think, yeah.
Amazing. But she's like, oh, I dyed my hair blonde. She's like, why did you go blonde?
You go blonde.
And then, the people, in the I was gonna say The Office.
It's kind of The Office.
The
Yeah.
downstairs.
Working under the director.
Working under the director.
Yeah.
Who honestly, okay, I'm gonna finish that thought, then I'm gonna come back to that. But the director, but the
Put a pin in the
put it, don't forget it, because I will. But they're like, oh, we put in like stuff chemically to make her dumber. And I was like, what? That's awesome. I love that. Again, anything's possible because obviously it's movie logic, and I love the lore of like, oh, we're gonna put this like mist to like make them dumber or make them like completely change their thought. And it's like, how did the science behind that?
The pheromone spray?
Yeah, pheromone spray, but also like what's the like when
Hemsworth splits when they get split apart.
They split apart, and it's like, how did you like what is the chemical that makes you like flip your thought?
Richard Jenkins' character doesn't really explain it. The pheromones once gets explained.
That makes sense because that is real, but like
unfortunately,
that one's real. That one's real.
They used to have a pop song, Love Potion Number 9. I don't trust that song from the 60s.
It's a good song.
No, I love that stuff. And again, going to the theme of like, I think when faced with fear, you lose who you are. And then, if you don't, that's the girls in Japan, the school, they come together to defeat the evil. Now here we got this example of everyone split. Yes.
Because they're like, Japan's the one that always feeds these gods or whatever with the sacrifices. But, they're failing because all these little girls were like, we're gonna hold hands, sing kumbaya, and turn this little demon girl into a frog.
Which is at my fiance just we let out a big aww.
You're like, what?
The little demon frog.
Little demon frog.
Which is kind of like the chihuahuas we own, but
that makes sense.
Yeah. I'd love to know the science of that. Great spot, but you could do I don't want necessarily a spinoff. I know they had been talking a sequel. Drew Goddard had said there was some talk of a sequel, but I'd like to know more about The Office.
Yeah.
What you and I are calling The Office.
The like, because they have a lot of work dynamics and stuff with also
the intern.
The intern. He's like, I'm the intern. Hi. And it's like you have that when they're placing their bets, or I think no, it's when they're celebrating. The one guy goes up to the girl. He's like, hey, I know you like the ballet, so I got you 2 tickets to your favorite. Like, what's their relationship? How long have they been working? She clearly does not care about him.
Not care.
So like, but
just another day at the office trying to save the world, or actually sell out the world.
Sell out the world. Correct.
Yes,
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think example of the idea of power used to control our fears and our fears controlling us. But yes, at the same time, you also have a very silly intern.
Yeah, just a little silly, goofy guy. So if you were to place a bet on one of the weird monsters, which one do you think you would go for?
Like if I was working in the office, like which one I'd want, like the merman situation with Whitford's character, or I would like, of all the ones we see there, I'd like the ones in like the weird masks that show up when all hell breaks loose.
Okay.
There's something extra creepy about that.
The ones that there's a lot of them in.
There are a lot of them, but they're all dressed in like black. They look like German art students, and they have like porcelain looking masks.
Oh, it's giving the strangers.
Strangers.
Yeah, it's giving those, but
yes,
like a subtle. Yeah.
So that's I'd like to see that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the merman joke is hilarious.
It's hilarious. Yes. I love the merman. I just want to see a merman. I'm like, honestly, that thing is terrifying. Also, not very practical and really slow. Like that's like he's got to waddle, and then does he have to go back to the water?
I think so.
So it's like he has to kill one person. Okay, now I got to go back to the water, breathe for 20 minutes, and then come back and kill the net. But then it's like they're already in a tree.
Yes.
And that's how you save. So
it's like when you get out of the hot tub to get the extra Corona, and you're like, I got to go back slowly.
Yeah.
And also spout out blood.
Just a little bit of blood, just a little bit. I'm thinking the weird robot thing that has like all I heard was the dentist chair.
Oh yeah.
With I think that would be interesting. Also the giant snake or the unicorn. I'm sorry, the unicorn was hilarious. Yes. I love them. Just like what random horror movies can we put in here, but also what weird shit can we put in here?
Yeah,
the unicorn was like perfect.
I haven't done the freeze frame look at it, but I want to kind of take into account all the monsters there. That was a real fun part for me.
Yeah.
And just playing on our fears. The unicorn. I had never thought of it in that way.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Pretty, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah. Like beauty in the eye of the beholder, or hey, don't call me pretty. I'm a violent horse.
Yeah. I wonder if the unicorn can like shoot also. If it's not, so it's like a knife, but also like can like shoot things.
Like poison rainbow confetti or
something.
Or
I don't know. It's got to do something else. If it
Glitter.
can just stab people, it doesn't seem very productive.
Can we get a check on unicorns? Glitter or confetti?
Glitter or confetti?
What's the most likely thing to come out of there?
Which one's gonna kill us more?
Yeah.
Which one's gonna be more painful? We gotta know.
Love that.
We gotta know.
Love that.
Yeah. Oh, but so going back to the director.
Sigourney Weaver.
That is maybe right next to Will Ferrell's cameo in Wedding Crashers. Maybe one of the greatest surprises. That because you hear the voice, but you're like,
yeah,
who is that? The first time you watch it, and then you're like, what are you doing here? Sigourney, what are you doing here? And I love that she's just like, yeah, I'm a villain. I'm here. But it's just like she's like barely in the movie. And I love that.
And I, again, knew she was there, knew the twist, but hadn't seen it for years. And in the back of my mind, I got like Ghostbusters when she kind of goes all crazy in Ghostbusters. I got it confused, and I was like, she doesn't. Looked at my Grace. I was like, she doesn't really like. Doesn't she go like demonic and red? She's like, you're thinking of the Ghostbusters movies. So I was like, yeah, that's right. That's
you're like,
right.
It's a different movie.
That's
But that
right.
would have been good here.
Yeah.
That would have been good here.
No, I love it, and that's hilarious. The Will Ferrell cameo connection. From Wedding Crashers.
Well, because that's like that cameo's brilliant.
It's all timer.
But this one, I think is maybe like that one's up there for me at least. At least the ones I can think about. Those are the ones that stand out in my mind.
Well, and I think too it plays upon the fact that I think we have a lot of trust in Sigourney as a person, as an actor, and all her characters. The Ripley of it all, and so when she shows up, you kind of got like, oh, there's some sense in the world. She'll figure this out.
You're like, she crazy.
She gets. I forgot. She gets into the total fight with the nerd.
Yeah.
It's a fist fight to end all fist fights.
To the death
of the world, to the death of the world.
And then, she starts getting into the virgin's head, and it's like, you have to kill him. You have to kill Marty.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, the gods are going to come down, and everything's going to go to shit. And she's like, I might shoot you. And then she gets attacked by a werewolf.
Beautiful.
Classic.
Beautiful. The
Classic.
werewolf is kind of terrifying though.
Yeah, a lot of the things that you would think, like the werewolf and the giant bat are what stick with me, because the bat has a weird mouth. It's almost have you seen Stranger Things?
Yeah.
The demi-dog?
Yeah.
But it has like prickles more around. I don't know. It's giving its mouth is giving that.
Can we do a side-by-side comparison to the mouths right now?
Yes, right there.
Demi-dog and bats.
It just something about its mouth. I'm like, that's not a normal bat.
It's hard to control, right? Like if you're fighting I feel, I don't know, I'm going to lose to either of these
Correct.
characters.
I'm going to die.
I'm going to die.
Immediately.
But a werewolf, I think I might have a fighting chance. Like I literally can get some punches in. The bats flying above you.
True.
You
gotta break one.
Yeah.
But they don't die.
No, that's the other thing, right?
So it's like just stay in the elevator and just wait for your slow death.
Slow death. That's what I
death.
would have done. Because again, I'm afraid. Even when I play Fortnite, I hide too much.
You said, I'm afraid.
I'm afraid. And I'm terrified of werewolves. That was the whole Silver Bullet thing from that movie in '85. Have you ever had a chance to see Silver Bullet?
I have not.
Okay. Yeah,
On my
it's I think it's based on a Stephen King story, but I was at a slumber party, and it's a werewolf story, and it scared the piss out of me, literally.
Yeah.
And my friends told a story of in our neighborhood, well, there's a pack of wolves, and they got in my head, and plus we had done the Bloody Mary, go in the bathroom, look in the mirror. So
Classic.
Katie, I had to pee. I was 8, and I was terrified. And so I fell asleep, and I woke up in the morning, and my sleeping bag I peed all in my sleeping bag because of the movie Silver Bullet, because I was afraid to go to the bathroom. I was afraid that I think it's Gary Busey as a werewolf was going to get me.
I mean, that's terrifying.
That's why I don't like horror movies and werewolves a lot, because I'm afraid.
That's fair. I'm also afraid of Gary Busey, but when he was the ginger dead man. But that's a different type of afraid.
Yeah, I'm just afraid of him in life. Anyway.
That's, honestly fair. I'm sure he's love.
I'm sure he's a great lunch companion.
Yes, that's, you know what? I like that. He's a great guy to go to lunch with, and then 2 hours tops.
2 hours tops.
Get in. No, we don't need. No, you
don't worry. I'll meet you there. I'm going to Uber over.
I'm going to Uber over. Don't worry.
In fact, I'm going to order before you get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to get just a butterscotch milkshake at Mel's. You can get a taco salad and finish it up after I leave.
Yeah, I will leave.
The time there will be entertaining.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh look.
Did we just turn Gary Busey into a horror monster? That's great. It's wonderful.
I think he is.
I think he is. He scared me.
He's scared me too.
me.
He's a you know what? But again, he's a good lunch companion.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that. That's
Yeah.
good.
I do. I have a moral question for
Yes.
you though. Would you shoot me to save the world? If Sigourney Weaver's asking you,
I mean, depends on how, persuasive Sigourney is. What am I getting besides life? I'd be like, is there more to it?
yeah,
But probably not.
I guess it's about the world, huh?
It's about the world.
About the world.
Yeah, but also giant gods. Wouldn't that be great to see? I love the ending where they're just smoking and they're like, yeah, we're going to die. We're already dying because we're bleeding out. But, we're just going to get really high right now.
You see Big Hand.
Yeah.
It's like going to Joshua Tree and taking some shrooms or something.
Yeah.
We'll see what pops up from the ground.
Who knows? Who knows? Could it be good? Could it be bad?
So what I'm hearing is you wouldn't kill me, not so much for me, but the idea of seeing supersized gods.
Potentially, yes.
That's a fair trade.
Yeah.
I'll take that because I'm at least alive for another 10 minutes.
Yeah. But again, I would probably hide and survive, and then you would probably die because of the werewolf. Surprise! Do you know who's in another one of the elevators?
No.
Gary Busey.
Yeah, he just pops out.
He just pops out, and it's just him. And
you guys want to go to Mel's?
You're like, no! You shoot yourself because it's just like too much. You're like, I'd rather end it here. I'm surprised they didn't just kill themselves. Those types of things.
Yeah.
Where you're like,
I mean, I go back to even when they got into the Rambler and they got blocked in the tunnel.
yeah.
And you got the great Hemsworth scene of him jumping over, hitting the wall, which is hilarious, especially
Oh my God! But
the first time.
to imagine we're gonna get out of here, and then just see him pancake, and like the horror. I'm like, I obviously this isn't real, but I like to see that. I be like, oh my God, oh my God, douche. You
the Homer
just keep
Simpson
seeing it.
falling down meme. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, he's still going. Oh, this is never ending. Awesome.
And it works for me on two levels. The first time I saw it, yes, I know that eagle hits it earlier in the film or the bird or whatever it is. I don't want eagle enthusiasts to judge me if I've named it an eagle when it isn't. But yet, it's not that you forget that. You just put that in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
And then the movie starts taking off. So when that happens, I think it's the first time it surprised me that I thought Hemsworth was going to come back with all those big guns and help. And the second time, to know what's happening, the build up, the play on the trope, the hero, the athlete saving the day, and you're like, something's gonna. Oh, that's right, the eagle. Poof!
Yeah,
it's just
the impending doom. Honestly, it's like, I mean, there isn't really a happy ending. Everybody dies, really.
I mean,
you assume everybody dies and
Yeah.
the gods take over and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like, which is interesting because like you have this hope for the characters and you're like, okay, it's a horror movie.
yeah,
It's gonna flip around. It's gonna flip around. Oh, it's not.
it's not.
And you're like, you know what? I'm okay with that. Like, it's not like it works.
And this was a movie written and shot in the late 2000s, released like what we said, 2011 or 12. So it kind of 10 years or so on. Now I'm kind of like, yeah, I think they made the right decision.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When the Virgin says, yeah, maybe some other people deserve a shot. Yeah, maybe that's the case.
Yeah.
Maybe they made the right one there.
They do. Now, with the truth or dare sequence, if you were dared to go into the cellar,
No.
would you?
No, I mean, I can handle that a little bit.
Okay.
With a proper flashlight and knowing people around. It's not that I can't survive. I don't like camping, but if I have to be out there and have to go in the woods to take care of some business, I'm okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
you're not.
I'm talking about doing taxes.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Sure, yeah.
But yeah, I might see if someone wants to go with me. I don't know why you have to split up, And if they all go in, then we're good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Because that's the big lesson of the film. If we all work together, empathy, compassion, symbiotic relationships, we can survive like girls in Japan, though they're dead now too. But
Yeah, but
start splitting apart. It's the danger.
yeah.
It's the danger. What decision would you make?
I wouldn't go down there.
You wouldn't go down there?
I wouldn't go.
Even if it meant like maybe saving us or getting out or surviving?
Well, so we didn't. Going down there is how they
That's how it started.
decide like whatever they pick up. I wouldn't touch anything. I'd be like, hey guys, let's not touch anything, and then I'd be like, let's all hold hands
Yeah.
and not touch anything.
Maybe say a little prayer. See, this is you're touching on something deep inside my soul because I'm such a good little boy. I listened to my parents, and even though
If it's not yours, don't touch it.
don't
Period.
touch it. Yeah. But like, it's your cousins. I don't have a cousin. Well, even worse.
Even worse, because you don't know whose stuff this is, and clearly you're starting to read some Latin.
Oh, it's one of my favorite lines. Don't read the Latin.
Don't read the Latin. For the love of God, don't read the Latin. That's, fair.
Are there T-shirts for that? Maybe it's a
There
bumper
should
sticker.
be. Oh, there should be. Don't read the Latin. Period. Don't ever read Latin.
Yeah.
I think I tried to learn Latin. I was like, I'm gonna take this as a class. Don't.
The most Latin I learned was while watching the movie Rushmore '99, and that's it. Just that one little scene about Latin.
Yeah, I don't care enough. I'm being honest with you. Yeah,
because it's an accursed language. I'll say.
Yeah.
That sounds probably wrong.
It's cursed.
Probably hurt some feelings.
I don't think a lot of people speak it.
For good reason, because this is what happens, Katie.
Because you uprage the demons and the what is the family?
Oh God, they say it. I forget.
I was gonna say the Beauregard, but that is from Scooby Doo and the Boo Brothers.
Oh, I was gonna say the Muppets, the cab driver Beauregard, but same thing. We both ended up in the same spot, not in this movie.
Yeah, correct. But something with a B. The Bennett, the Boo,
the Coltons, the Owens.
It's like the Boo, the Bootner,
but the Bootners?
No, that sounds like right though.
It's close.
What is it? What is it?
We'll need to check on this and unicorn confetti. Let's find out.
What is it? Because the famous actress is one of the
zombies?
Yeah, it was one of the zombies.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
What is her name?
I thought I researched this pretty well, and you got some.
Buckner.
The Buckners.
Buckners. I knew it was a B. I was like, the Buckners.
Just like the late great baseball player Bill Buckner. I'm sure that was the reference.
That was it. How did you know?
Little roller along the bag gets your Buckner. Here comes night, and the Mets win it. That's what. Who was the actress? Who was one of the zombies?
Her name is Jodelle Freeland.
Definitely a fan of all her work. What'd she go on to do?
Silent Hill.
Oh, okay. See, I wouldn't watch that. That's scary.
Yeah. The Tall Man.
That sounds scary too.
Supernatural. The show.
The show. Not scary.
The movie Paranorman. She was in Twilight.
I mean, I've definitely seen Twilight.
2007's Good Luck Chuck. With Mr. Dane Cook.
With Mr. Dane Cook.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't see that. No disrespect to anyone in that film.
You should.
I'm going to check. Maybe that would be...
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do a retro review on it.
I made in college, I made a short film for one of my directing classes where it was like, oh, here's a scene. Character A says this, character B, give the scene context. And I made it a girl who's terrible at writing screenplays because she only watches Dane Cook movies, and her friend's giving her critique and hates the scripts. And the whole apartment was just Dane Cook posters. And I did that because they were all on sale. So they were like $3. And that was the movie, and it was so stupid, and it was great.
I could see there's a personal connection to this movie and story.
Yeah, it was. I watched it afterwards, and I was like, "What the hell is that?"
What's the premise of that? It's like
you
date him and then you get married. Sorry, I cut you off.
You date him, and then you end up finding the love of your life after.
Oh,
relationship.
I'm going to take a big sip of water to contemplate that because that was me for a few years in my life.
Well, hey, you're getting married.
It worked out okay.
It worked out. Look at you.
Yeah, but it's a particular kind of sad sack man like me that thinks that anyways.
Yeah.
You found love after me just means you were probably an a-hole.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? Hey, it's okay.
That could be one of the horrors down like a really aggressive incel. Which I'm not saying I was, but I'm just saying that could be down there as well.
Oh God!
This is in the sequel.
This is all in the sequel. This is in The Office.
Yes.
But it's shot like The Office, but it's all them murdering people.
Love that.
And placing bets. Someone has an office birthday party. All that jazz. Have you ever stayed in a cabin in the woods?
Not an isolated one.
Okay.
I have been up to Arrowhead a few times. Green Valley Lake had a family house there. It's a boring story, but yes. And I was afraid of the snowplows that would come by as a kid.
Fair.
But my idea of camping is a hotel bar and some lobby water when you check in.
Okay.
That's why Mark Ellis and I are so great on the road when we're doing the comic thing.
Oh yes, because
yeah,
he opens up for Mark Ellis.
Mark Ellis. And look for Dates of the Fall. The one and only Mark Ellis. Mark Ellis and I both love living in hotels. Our idea of horror is a cabin in the woods.
Got it. Okay.
Cut off. I mean, we both like some solitude.
Yeah.
I mean, we're comics, come on.
Yeah.
But like, that's my idea of fun.
Yeah.
Cabin in the woods, nothing around, horror.
Sounds fun. Oh,
Yeah.
I love it.
You?
I love it. Oh yeah, I love a good cabin in the woods. I love camping. I love all that jazz.
What do you love about camping? Is it the fear that it permeates every part of the trip?
No, it's the fire and cooking things outside.
But I got a fire pit. Come to Burbank. I got a fire pit. I'll let you cook something.
It's better to cook it in the middle of the woods, and you cook all your meals on there. It just tastes, and then you go hiking, and then you come back and you make your food.
But what did you slay? Did you just slay a bear while you're out there? Now you're cooking some bear burgers. I'm fascinated by this. I love this.
You know, what I do is more like it's car camping. So you like buy food before.
Sure.
So I'm not like
you hit a Vons.
I'm not like scavenging. You know, I'm not like, oh, here's a squirrel. Let me set up a trap. Here's a snare. Like I'm not doing that.
Okay.
But you know, yeah.
We're gonna hit a Safeway and get some, corn dogs.
A shitload of hot dogs.
Okay.
I don't eat hot dogs very often, but when I go camping,
Yeah. It's a hot dog.
it's only hot dogs. It's because they taste so much better over an open flame. I don't
disagree with this.
Yeah.
This is why I have a fire pit and the ability to cook in Burbank. Though I am mostly vegan now, which means I cheat a lot when no one's looking.
Yeah.
But the hot dogs don't plump up as well over the open flame. We're talking about cabin in the woods, which is, you go out there, it's just inherently scary to me.
Yeah.
So's camping.
Yeah. 100%.
Bears, wolves, murderers.
I don't go where there are bears, wolves, or murderers.
Don't give your exact location away. You might have a fan that follows you out like some kind of zombie emerging from the ground.
There are a couple. But yeah, no, and I usually go with people, like a lot of people. In high school, we had this class called Advanced Ropes, and it was like rocks and ropes, but it was like, I know that sounds weird, but it was like you went like caving, you went camping.
Spelunking,
yeah.
This was a high school class?
Yeah.
I had video production and drama.
We had that too, but we also had spelunking.
Did you grow up at Prepper High School?
No.
Where did you go?
In Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin. Well, yeah, that's right. I remember you were from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That makes some sense.
Yeah.
You might need it more out there.
There's also a cave that my family used to own, and that's the one that they all go to, and it's also where Al Capone would hide out.
Yeah,
and so that's Eagle Cave.
There.
Eagle Cave.
And your family owned Eagle Cave?
They used to own Eagle Cave. Yeah, my aunt.
You a maid family? Don't say that. Don't answer out loud.
I'll never say it.
Really?
I'll never say it.
Fascinated by that tale.
But there was one time when we were all camping for the class, and the whole class, like there's like 30 students or whatever, and we were playing Ghost in the Graveyard. Have you ever played that? It's basically
No.
Have you ever played that game? Yeah, you peed your bed, nerd. But it's basically like tag, but you like hide, and then the goal is to get to the fire, like the fire pit, like the fire pit's like the safety.
Yeah.
So you want to get around there, but you have to get as far away as possible first, and then try to make it. I was hiding in the woods, cabin in the woods style, like on the ground, and I was like, this is where a Buckner stabs me with the trough, and I was just thinking, I'm like, this is literally the scene from that movie, because all of my friends were walking right past me and they couldn't see me, and I was like, I could literally die right now and no one would know I was gone.
You're like Buster Bluth, the hide and seek champion.
Yeah,
this is great.
I won. It was great.
You won.
I won. Yeah.
I want to play this game now.
It was epic.
Can we play this game with a bunch of comics?
Jesus Christ,
because comics can't how you did it as a comic is amazing to me, because we can't stay that quiet for that long.
I can't even.
We got to make some wisecrack that we just found.
Oh yeah. I also was like, I'm getting bored. I need to move. I'm like, let's make it more interesting. I'm gonna run. Let's just get it going.
See, I don't know. I think you and I are pitching more horror movies. The Spelunking class disaster.
Spelunking?
Or whatever the class. Spelunking. Morgan
Spurlocking. Spurlunking. Getting in there.
But if this class or this game you're playing, maybe that's the pitch. It's
yeah.
Ghost. What is it? The Ghost in the Graveyard?
Yeah.
It's terrifying. What games are you teaching kids out there?
You go into the cornfield and you go, Ed Gein's gonna get you.
Oh,
Ed Gein's gonna get you.
At the Haunted Museum, they got the cauldron of Ed Gein.
Yeah, they go, and now here's the room from Plainview, Wisconsin, and I go, Wisconsin. I'm from there. And everyone's like, this is not, like, it wasn't the vibe. Everyone took it way too seriously.
Yes.
And I was like, hey.
Yeah.
This is I'm not I am respecting the things.
Yeah.
I'm not respecting Zach Baggins, and I think that's okay because he was like, and now you're gonna see the cauldron from, and it's just like very anticlimactic. You're like, it's just a pot,
cauldron,
it's like not, but obviously what happened with it was terrible.
Yeah, it was not great, but yeah,
it wasn't
a fun room. But you're talking about the Zach Baggins VO, and he wasn't actually there?
No, he wasn't there.
We've been there about 3 times, and one time he was there, but he was like in the office doing some work.
Oh my God.
And we're Ghost Adventures fans. We enjoy it. So we're kind of.
Do you actually like it or do you hate watch it?
I actually like it.
Okay.
But in the sense of it's to me some of the best long form improv I've ever seen.
It's pretty good. It's pretty. I gotta say, Aaron's my favorite.
Aaron's my favorite too.
Because I just feel bad for him. I just feel really
locking
bad.
Him in closets and cupboards.
Zach is just like, honestly, Zach is like the older sibling,
Yeah.
or no, I think the younger sibling who like shoves the older sibling out of the way, like just face.
A little bit of alpha.
Like, shut up. Okay, so anyways, it's about me now, and that's what Zach does.
Yeah, no, I'm with it. Whether do I believe in orbs and all that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Until I see something, until a chair is thrown across the Comedy Store stage in front of me, I don't know if I'll believe.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy watching the adventures.
They are fun. They are fun. Yeah. I don't know what I believe. Even going there was more for like the history and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, the history.
It's got some really dark history.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, a lot of places like that, and that's also why I wouldn't go to a cabin in the woods.
Yeah.
Too much dark history.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
cabin.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, that one especially. If I go to a cabin, it's gonna be a pretty cabin. That's an ugly one, and that's an ugly cabin. I'm not gonna go to that one. That's an Evil Dead cabin.
Yeah.
And I'm not. No, thank you.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
But what is that? What's the dividing line for you? It's the curtains, the chairs, the upholstery, the lighting,
Just the way, like the overall
the road to get there.
The road to get there. The way they, it's not really. It's like not really kept up. You know, all that jazz.
If you came on that long road in the Rambler and you go through and you got the weird guy at the gas station,
I would leave. I'd turn around. I'd be like,
Yeah.
"This is the only gas station.
We gotta go."
He has to come out and pump the gas for you.
Yeah.
And he like is really dirty.
He's got some stuff going
He's
on.
got some
his
stuff.
eye.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, I'll give you $20.
Yeah.
Because you deserve it. But I'm gonna turn around.
I'm gonna turn around. I'm obsessed when Hemsworth throws the money at him because I'm like, was that enough? He just like, here's the money.
Like,
Keep the change. I need more. We're out of here. But so let's say you take that road, you get in the Rambler with your pals, and you survive that gas station, and you go through the tunnel, and the cabin is a nice modern cabin with an open window, some sunlight, some white paint.
Okay.
Are you staying even though every other sign around you? And hey, did anyone see that eagle just hit that electric shield and fall?
What eagle?
Yeah. Are you
Where?
still staying at the cabin?
I honestly probably would.
Yeah, because it's inviting.
It's inviting. Yeah. And that's how they get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like all these horror movies. I talked about it last week with Insidious. It's a simple suburban craftsman style house, and you're like, what could possibly go wrong here? Right. There's all this wood, all these wood columns.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's fine,
Yeah.
but it's not.
Yeah.
But I feel like if it's inviting, you wouldn't think that something sinister is happening there.
That's how they get you. That's how the suburbs get you.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up in the late 70s, early 80s. You know, we a lot of wood on walls.
Yeah.
A lot of paneling.
Yeah.
It's frightening.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrifying, but it's also
walls you
great.
into-
It's also great.
It's great.
It's great. So, did you have shag carpeting?
Maybe in the 70s, but we moved up to Pismo Beach, California. We did not have shag carpet.
Got it. Okay.
I remember that.
My grandparents' house, which my family still owns, has the original green shag carpet.
That Al Capone slept on.
That's a different. No, they're
okay.
both. It's no. I wish. Although,
Tying it all together.
again, my great grandpa, I believe, he helped Al Capone smuggle alcohol as well.
There's a lot of things that I want to know more about that I just don't want you to say onto a camera in any form of permanent record.
I don't know. I don't think we have any connection anymore, unfortunately. But hey, that's okay.
There's a Dillinger connection in my family, so
Okay.
you know,
Oh, okay.
who knows?
Okay.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
A little spooky.
Fantastic.
A little spooky. A little spooky, just like this movie.
Just like this movie.
Just like this movie. So out of 10, what do you think?
I'm out of 10. I'm going to give it a solid 8.5. The only reason I would knock it down a bit, it's a perfect commentary on the genre. It's meta. It's funny. It's all those things. It's got stars before they were stars.
Literally, yeah.
Love that. And Jenkins and Whitford. Yeah. It moves so fast, which is not a bad thing, that I almost want to spend a little more time with the kids being tortured.
You're like, can we focus more on the children being tortured? Thank you. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want the teenagers, adults.
I mean, I think they're talking about college and high school.
Yeah.
And, I think at this point Hemsworth was already 44, but
Yeah. I think he's just been permanently 44, but yeah. I agree with that. I will say I've gone 8 to 9, and I've decided a 9.
It's a solid movie.
And that's pretty high for the movies that I've done. I'm pretty, but 9. Yeah, I love it. I think it's honestly, despite wanting more, and like about like the Office as we're calling it and all that jazz.
Yeah, I do want more. Yeah.
Yeah, I want more of that. Like I want to know more about their stories, but I think it's a pretty close to perfect movie, and I love it. And I think every time the magic of the movie is every time you watch it, you see something slightly different, and I love that.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Everything's great. It was an early, kind of almost viral hit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, one of the screenwriters is someone who, we learned a little bit more about later on, but it's all right. One of the producers. But other than that, I'm with you.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Good old Buffy. Good old Buffy guy. But, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? He made a good movie. He made some good cinema.
Definitely don't mean it that way, but yes.
Separate the person from the art?
It's hard to.
You can't.
It's hard to.
Joke.
You can't.
So, where can the people find you?
Easiest way is to just go to my website, kennapzok.com. If you want some fun, celebratory, but also very deep dives into Star Wars, head over to Force Center. We go deep into the themes and how it applies to our lives. So head over there as well. And
you're opening for Mark Ellis.
Yeah. Mark Ellis Live. He just released his latest comedy special, Alive and Well. Check that out. And we're going to be heading back out heavily in the fall. So go to our websites, markellislive.net and kennapzok.com for more.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Ken, thank you for being here.
You.
You've been a delight.
It's been wonderful.
And you know who else is wonderful?
What's that?
Our sponsor,
Oh.
Filmcraft LA. Thank you to Filmcraft LA. You can find them at filmcraftla.com or at Instagram at filmcraftla. You guys, if you are going on vacation and you go to get gas and you see a guy who's kind of creepy and he's like, hey, you should turn around, maybe you should do it. Just a thought. Stay spooky.